What's up, mobile home park investors? Mike here, and in this video, we're going to share with you some extremely important rules for success that will help you achieve the goals you set for yourself when you purchase this course. Not watching this video or ignoring these rules entirely will cause your chances of success to go down immensely. Now, to keep track of who actually watches this video and who doesn't, at the end of this training, I'm going to give you a hashtag that you have to take into the group and post alongside an introduction of yourself. If you've already taken the initiative to post in the group after watching the welcome video, fantastic. Just comment the hashtag underneath your original post. If later on in this course, you post a question in the group that you could have easily solved, I'm going to go back to your original post and see if you posted this hashtag. Now, I won't be publicly humiliating anyone, but I will respond with this hashtag to let you know to go back and watch this video. So without further ado, let's talk about house cats. You've all likely seen videos of house cats on social media. At this point, they're kind of their own subgenre of YouTube content. Cat videos are so popular that "what are you doing watching cat videos" is literally a phrase people say to someone who doesn't appear to be working very hard. So for those of you occasional slackers who have indulged in the infrequent cat video, I pose a question. What behavior do you see these cats do again and again? And if you're not sure, don't worry. I've gone ahead and put together a quick highlight reel of some of my favorite cat videos for your viewing pleasure. At the end of this video, I want to see if you can guess what it is about these cats' behavior that I want to point out. Okay, let's see who was paying attention and got it right. The behavior that I wanted to point out that is in all of these situations is that the cat is following its basic instinct, which is to swat, jump, climb, or hunt. The cat is often acting on emotion and not thinking about the consequences of its actions, and almost every time the cat gets itself into trouble. Most cats exhibit the exact same behaviors, which is why there are probably 10 million hilarious cat videos that we've been able to enjoy over the last however many years. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Okay, who cares? These are cats and we're people. None of this matters and I want my money back. But to be honest, sometimes humans, and specifically entrepreneurs, commonly act in a very similar way. Deep down, we all know what we need to do in order to achieve almost anything in life. The answers are almost always self-evident, but often people make decisions based on nothing but emotion. Think about it. We all know what we need to do to be in good shape. But regardless of what we know, we actually more often do the exact opposite. We know that we shouldn't eat bad food. We want to be healthy, but our emotions tell us to eat the cookie. Our basic instinct, like the cat, is to do things that we want to do because it's easier and often produces short-term enjoyment. Another example that I like to give is consuming content all day, every day, versus actually taking action and doing something to reach our full potential. Why do we do this? We do it because it's easy and fun and sends rushes of dopamine into our brains, which we are hardwired to repeat again and again. So because you are human and you are not a cat, you have the power to ignore your basic instincts. Always keep in mind that the things that our bodies and minds tell us to do because they are fun or give us immediate gratification, those are usually things that you should probably avoid. And the things that we don't want to do because they require a lot of effort and are difficult, those are the things that are almost always going to have a powerful impact on getting us where we truly want to be. As students of 30-Day Mobile Home Park, it's likely you are here because you want to accomplish buying your first park, expanding your existing portfolio, or optimizing the operations of your existing one. I'm here to tell you that none of that is easy, and in future videos, Ryan will tell you the exact same thing. What we can also tell you is that all of that hard work that you put in will all be insanely worth it. So always keep in mind that the end result is more important than your immediate discomfort, because there will be times where you don't want to get on your computer and do the things you need to do to accomplish the goals you set for yourself. But just remember, It is your basic instinct and emotion that is telling you that you want to go sit in front of the TV and watch the latest binge-worthy drama. Remind yourself that the best things for you are most often what are the most uncomfortable and require the most effort. I promise you that over time, getting out of your comfort zone and doing things that are difficult will actually start to feel good. When you start to embrace the pain of doing difficult things, that's when your success will start to skyrocket. So rule number 1 is, I am not a cat. And to drill this into your brain, I will play for you one of the funniest cat videos that I have ever seen.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings.
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
So with cat videos out of the way, let's move on to some other rules. We realize everyone is coming into this program at different skill levels. Some of you may have already bought your first mobile home park and are very successful in the mobile home park space. And you're here because you want to expand your existing portfolio. Others may be here because they are just starting out on their real estate investment journey, and maybe they joined because their goal was to learn from the ground up. Regardless of your skill level and experience, if you come into this program assuming you know everything, you won't learn anything. Releasing ego from your mindset and opening your mind to learning something from a different perspective is an important part of being an entrepreneur. Learning from each other and checking our ego at the door will allow us to get the most out of this course and allow us to create a course that is extremely comprehensive and brings the most good people into the mobile home park space. On to rule number 2, which is watch everything in this program. This is going to be crucial. Do not skip around. We have to add this rule in because there is no magic pill in the entire universe that will just immediately allow you to be successful. There is a well thought out and carefully planned sequence to this program. If you jump to the section on building an acquisition model before you start and finish the finance module, odds are this will not work for you because the sections on understanding underlying financial concepts and mastering mobile home park terminology are all crucial to understanding how to use our models. Another example is if you skip the mindset training because you just don't believe in mindset, you will crumble when you hit an obstacle because you'll have lack of discipline. Finally, if you skip around the material, the odds of you going into the Facebook group and asking a question that you could have easily found in the course skyrockets. I promise you the sequence in here is proven to work, so make sure you go through all of it step by step. Now, rule number 3 is execution is everything. Anyone can go through a program and watch a ton of content, but nobody ever achieved anything by watching a TED Talk. The people who succeeded in our program in the past are those who execute based on the information that we provide, who do the practice exercises, who implement the tools that we give them, and who actually do the work. I realize that everyone has a different amount of time that they can dedicate to real estate investment. But regardless of that, if it takes you an entire month to make your first cold call, it is nothing to do with the amount of time you actually have and everything to do with the amount of time you're willing to invest. If you do not do the work, you will not see the results. It's the simplest thing in the world. If you commit 100%, there is practically nothing on planet Earth that can get in your way. Rule number 4 is an extension of that concept. Make decisions fast and learn from your mistakes faster. Very few people in this course will acquire the first park that they set their eyes on. There could be 10,000 reasons why. The deal is too expensive. The returns don't align with your expectations. The market is no good. Zoning issues prevent you from following through on your business plan. The list could literally go on forever. 99.9% of the time, it's the 10th, 20th, or 100th park that we find that we end up closing on. Why? Well, we are astronomically better at honing in on our park criteria, rooting out immediate red flags, asking the right questions, and determining the right course of action when we get to park number 53 versus park number 1. Many people don't want to hear this and will say that it's better to take your time and make calculated decisions. Well, that might be true in certain circumstances. In this case, fortune favors the bold, not the pontificators. Real estate is a fast-paced industry, and the ones that make the best decisions make decisions quickly with the knowledge that they have. Then, when they run into an obstacle, they course correct along the way. They get better and better every time they do this at making decisions. I can pretty much guarantee that you won't close on your first park. And that's not a bad thing by any means. That's just part of the process. Once you understand that, you can accept it and then make decisions even faster. Moving into rule number 5, which is one that many of you may recognize. Be a goldfish.
Hey, Sam, come here a sec.
Coach, I'm sorry.
You know what the happiest animal on earth is? It's a goldfish. You know why?
No.
It's got a 10-second memory. Be a goldfish, Sam. Yeah? Yeah, you got it. Go ahead.
As made famous by Ted Lasso, this quote means that rather than lingering on mistakes or rejections, having the memory of a goldfish, which is apparently 3 seconds long, will serve you extremely well. Rejection in all its forms is a part of life and especially a part of entrepreneurial real estate investment. You're going to get rejected by park owners who you cold call. You're going to get rejected by banks who you need a loan from. You're going to get rejected by investors who you're trying to raise capital from. Every single time you have a choice. You can either ruminate on the horrible feeling of rejection, or you can pick yourself up and go try again. The important thing is that you realize one of two things. Either 1, you didn't do a good job and you could do better next time, in which case this is a learning experience, or 2, there was an external, uncontrollable factor that resulted in that rejection. Maybe the park owner was having a bad day, or the bank wasn't lending on any more mobile home parks this quarter, or the investor didn't want any more exposure to real estate investments. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, what matters is that you persevere and that you forget about that unpleasant experience and carry on, just like the goldfish. Rule number 6 is what Ryan affectionately calls the shopping cart principle. This comes from the idea that if you see a stray shopping cart in a parking lot, that you get out of your car, you go get that shopping cart, and you put it in the shopping cart receptacle so that it doesn't fly into neighboring cars. It also means that you are never the person to deliberately leave the shopping cart in the middle of the parking lot. In short, leave every place you go better off than the way you found it. This principle applies to your whole life, but it applies directly in the context of this course as well. First off, how do we use the shopping cart principle with parks that we acquire? Well, you should be coming into this industry with the intention to make affordable housing better and to create incredible and safe communities for the residents that you will serve. Second, how do we use the shopping cart principle in our course community? When you join the Facebook group, it is expected that you act respectfully, participate, and engage in the discussion with the other students. Don't be a taker and only ask the questions in the group without actually offering advice and being a giver in return. The people who help and answer the most questions are typically the ones who receive the most in return. This is one of the few times that I will get serious in this course because our goal is to have fun and have an exciting course that people enjoy, but it's very important for me and Ryan that we end rule number 6 with a warning. Metaphorically speaking, if you are the type of person who regularly leaves their shopping cart in the middle of the parking lot, I implore you to look inside yourself and change that behavior. If your goal is to come in here and get rich quick by buying a park, making no improvements, jacking up the rent, sitting back and collecting rent checks while your residents flounder and are in need, I promise you 2 things. Number 1, you will not be in this industry for very long. And number 2, if you operate unethically and or extort your residents, Ryan and I will terminate your access to this course and refund you your money. There is no situation where we condone the use of this course material for unethical purposes, and we have a zero tolerance policy for behavior of this kind. On top of that, people who operate their parks unethically tend to lose residents at an alarming rate. This usually results in the failure of their park and a massive hit to their personal reputation as well as a stain on their personal brand. We know that 99.9% of people that are in this course are here for the right reason, and we thank you for acting ethically and honestly and abiding by the shopping cart principle. Moving past any potential negativity, onto rule number 7. This is an important one. You need to have passion for whatever it is you are doing, including what you're doing here. Anyone who's ever built anything, especially a business, knows that it has to be special to them. And it doesn't matter whether this business makes a ton of money or it makes very little. If that business is special to that person, they were able to accomplish that goal because they had passion for the overarching thing that they were trying to create. I'm not saying that you have to be passionate about every aspect of the mobile home park process, but you need to be driven by an overall North Star. Personally, I love building park operations and analyzing the performance of my investments. I don't love the mundane accounting, applying receipts in QuickBooks to existing expenses. I love seeing a new home placed on a site and a happy family moving in. I don't love dealing with issues related to septic tanks. That's totally fine, but I can't use that as an excuse to not do things like septic tanks, especially at the beginning. As we scale, we can maybe outsource some of these low-value activities that we don't like to do. But at the very beginning, it's important for our growth that we actually learn that process. So to recap, make sure that you have a passion for the overall thing that you're creating, in this case, mobile home parks. But that doesn't mean you need to be in love with every aspect of it. Rule number 8 is accountability. You need to be 100% accountable for your actions in this course. In other words, you can't play victim. Everyone experiences negative things in their lifetimes, and I can tell you without a doubt, it's the person who owns it, learns from it, and moves on that are the most successful in their industries. On the other hand, however, if you are absolutely crushing it and do amazing things, that's on you too. Ryan and I are essentially your personal hype men throughout this process. If you experience an accomplishment like closing on your first mobile home park, or increasing the size of your portfolio, or achieving a 25% expense ratio, you will be hard-pressed to find someone that is happier for you than Ryan and myself. So to tie this all together, we'll talk about our final rule, which is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a high predictor of success because it is our personal ability to weigh our emotions and genuinely ask ourselves, are we doing what's easy or what's right? To expand, I'll bring back the first rule, which is, I am not a cat. That's right, you are not a cat. We are humans and we have the ability to control our actions by recognizing when our instincts and biological conditioning are hijacking our emotions and causing us to do things that we know are not the right thing to do. We'll call this our base self. Our base self will allow our emotions to take control and do things because they are easy, convenient, and enjoyable. Our best self, on the other hand, will do things that are painful and difficult in the short term because we know that these actions are in our best interest in the long term. For instance, with this program, the major instinctive reaction after 20 failed deal analyses is to throw in the towel and say, this is too hard, I want to watch Netflix, and I never want to log into this course again. Our best self will recognize this knee-jerk emotional response and will persevere because we know that the 21st deal or the 51st deal that we analyze could be the one that changes our lives forever. One concept that I find extremely helpful to think about when I'm learning something new is the plateau of latent potential. This concept states that what we think our progress should be is linear, a straight line over time. In reality, progress is shaped more like a curve because it takes time for the compounding effects of all the work that we've done to actually create results. So the gap between what we think we should have accomplished and what in reality we actually have accomplished is often biggest at the very beginning of any new endeavor. We call this gap the Valley of Disappointment, and it is aptly named because a lot of the time when you're in this valley, you are very disappointed with the results of your effort. Again, understanding this concept is powerful because with that knowledge, your best self can now override that emotion. By learning this, you've just gained a few emotional IQ points. Now you understand a brain trap that you can recognize in the future. So the next time your base self is telling you to quit because you're not making any progress, tap into your best self and use your emotional IQ to double down your efforts and fight through that valley. If you can do this successfully, you'll find yourself making incredible strides and groundbreaking progress on a daily basis. We as instructors are here for you to break down any of the potential knowledge-based obstacles standing in your way. It's up to you to do the actual work, learn from your mistakes, share your progress with the group so that they can learn collectively, and also hold yourself accountable for your results regardless of the outcome. So with that being said, the secret hashtag that you've all been on the edge of your seats waiting for is I'm not a cat. Go over to the Facebook group right now, introduce yourself, and tell us the 3 things you are most excited to learn about. You could say something like, "Hi everyone, my name is Peter Parker, and I'm a photographer for the Daily Bugle. I'm excited to get involved with mobile home park investing. The 3 things I'm most excited about are deal analysis, building an off-market deal pipeline, and learning how to optimize my park's operations." Finish off the post with the hashtag #I'mNotACat, and I'll know you watched this video. If you've already introduced yourself, go back to that initial post and comment on the original with this hashtag. Well done on watching this entire video. We're really excited to jump into the meat and potatoes of this course, but until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you soon.